So tonight, we've just stepped inside Molly's world, a place that's gothic, emotional, beautifully unsettling. First of all, congratulations, Molly, on the premiere tonight. After watching the video with an audience for the very first time, how are you feeling right now?
Quite elated. Yeah. I'm so happy. I can't believe after this incredibly long process that it's all finished now. Yeah. It doesn't quite feel real, it hasn't settled in yet.
Still feeling the adrenaline, right?
Yeah, massively.
I'd love to talk about identity for a moment. So when you step into your music and visuals, you enter this darker, gothic world, but in person, obviously speaking to you as well, you have a very different energy. So how do you navigate the difference between everyday Molly and the version you see in your art? And how did that performance persona develop and evolve?
That's an excellent question, thank you. So I like to keep the two people different. Like the person that I am on stage, so my name is Molly Meaker, so it's not a pseudonym.
Yeah. I love that you kept it Molly Meaker.
I love that on stage I can be a diva and insane and this like person that you'd imagine is probably super narcissistic and just kind of a dickhead. But then in person I like to just, I don't know, to stay myself, who's quite bubbly and friendly and a little bit anxious. But in terms of how I discovered that persona, it was at university. So I studied music at Southampton, and there's quite a few people from there here tonight. It was during my dissertation project, the first one, which was to record, produce, mix and master, and write an album in like 6 months, which was a slightly insane task, but I was really excited for it. And throughout developing this project, this like diva and this gothic kind of person came out more. And yeah, that's kind of how it emerged.
It ignited
yes.
That experience. So you describe Is This It as a moment of radical self-awareness, but also feeling completely out of your depth emotionally and artistically. What was happening in your life when you wrote this song? So give us a little deep dive.
Does this go on the internet? I was coming off of an amazing trip on acid, and it turned really negative because there was someone in my life at the time who just like wanted to make sure that I was okay, which was a very kind gesture, yeah. But just started like coming at me with a lot of like, I don't know, heavy stuff that I just was really not in the mental space for at that moment, because I'd just been like staring at the grass all day going, wow, everything's so glittery. And I just got hit with this, and I wrote it in my notes app straight after that as a way to try and like process what was going on so it didn't turn entirely negative.
Yeah.
And then it kind of went from there, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. And I added this like, I'm not a guitar player by any stretch, but I kind of like these chords, and I took them to Luca, and I was like, oh my god, this is really cool. And then he kind of messed around with it. It went from there.
Yeah, amazing. There's themes very similar to Alice in Wonderland. I think we can all agree with that. And falling down the rabbit hole in your single. When did you realise music had become that all-consuming for you?
I'm kind of an all or nothing person. So whatever it is in my life at that time just becomes like, I can't think about anything else. It's just the ADHD hyperfixation. But for me, music started really, like I just started rabbit holing down it when I was about 17, because I've been playing classical viola my entire life. But it like, I enjoyed it, but it never really spoke to me. And then in my last year of school, I was the musical director for a play that we did, which was this really cool, it's called Vinegar Tom by Carol Churchill. And I designed the costumes for it and then did the musical direction. And we basically changed this like very like Broadway kind of soundtrack into this like punk heavy metal trio, which was really good fun. And that was the moment that I was like, oh my God, this is what people talk about when they have this performance high and when they're like in their element. And that's when I really discovered that music was like for me. And then also, yeah, there's quite a few different reasons, but it was after that performance that I was like, okay, I have to do this.
It's also quite a cathartic release as well, like whatever emotion you're going through, it's a way to convey it in whatever form you like, and this is music for you, right?
Yeah, totally, and it's also like, it's a lot of it's just escapism as well, like from stuff in my life that hasn't been going well, or when I'm feeling great, like it's just a way to have this like kind of out-of-body experience, which is amazing to have.
The video has this haunting, almost storybook twisted atmosphere. I know we've briefly spoken about it before, which you've drawn inspiration from Del Toro's Frankenstein, which I hope anyone seen that? It's amazing, right? And also Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland. What elements from those worlds influenced the visuals we saw tonight?
So Twyla and I actually came up for the concept of this video straight after seeing Frankenstein at the BFI Film Festival, and we went and got coffee and we were like, oh my god, this was amazing, like we have to do something with these kind of visuals. So we drew, I've had a lifelong obsession with Alice in Wonderland. Like I used to be really into planning birthday parties, and so every year I just throw this massive bash. And one of the years it was Alice in Wonderland. And I kind of remembered that and I was like, oh my god, throwing those kind of events just used to fill me with so much joy. And it was like the highlight of my year was planning these birthday parties. And I was like, oh, I really want to bring that back, and that like kind of joy back into my life. And so I looked back on Alice in Wonderland and I was like, I love the like white rabbit and falling down into this different world. But what I love about Frankenstein is how like haunting it is.
And the symbolism as well.
Yeah, and the symbolism. And so we wanted to explore that a little bit more and make it more twisted and kind of dark.
Well, I think it's beautifully executed.
Thank you.
I'd like to invite co-director Twyla Coltman to join us on stage now for this next question. Here she comes. Hello, Twyla. So, Molly and Twyla, this is a joint question for both of you. Could you give us an insight into your process developing the vision of the video and how you approach such an ambitious project together?
Pure delusion. Absolute and complete delusion. We started in this coffee shop talking about this idea, and we were like discussing different like set pieces we wanted, and like we're right at the start of our like creative path. We were like, let's just say yes to everything and figure it out further along the line. So we came up with this kind of like really, I don't even know how we had no idea how we were going to approach it. We just kind of said yes to everything.
Well, I do love that approach though, very hands-on.
Yeah, I was going to say, we just was like at the beginning, we just said, let's just brainstorm anything, like we have a massive budget and then pull it down to make sure we could do it. And then we just didn't end up pulling it down. We were like, oh we'll find out a way to do it with nothing. So I feel like that's how we got to where it ended up being. I mean, I would often ask Molly for set, like, can you make a living room we could take into the forest that we can climb into the woods? And she would be like, yeah.
It's a positive attitude, optimism, positivity, you need that.
Yeah, exactly.
We had a shoestring budget for it, and we just wanted to make it look like we didn't.
I mean, the video is amazing. So very well done, Twyla, for getting on board with that. You created a very distinct universe around your music, costumes, imagery, storytelling. How important is world building to you as an artist? We clearly have a diva here.
Yeah, there's 3 of them. It was a nightmare. World building is like the most important thing to me because I love to make costumes and be involved in every single element and aspect of my like universe.
Yeah.
To use all of the skills that I've kind of developed over the years from homeschooling and being in a Steiner school, which is a really like holistic education. Well, obviously, like the music is at the forefront of everything that I do because if that's not strong, then you kind of have nothing to go off of. But after writing the songs, producing them, getting them all done, then like this whole world emerges in front of my eyes. And it's really exciting to get to work on something that's so multifaceted and to have such an amazing team that allows me to do the amount of world building that I do.
And that's the whole part of the process, right? Just exploring and evolving as an artist. There's one thing I did kind of see in the video that I didn't mention with you before, but it's kind of giving me Florence and the Machine, the Lungs album.
Yeah.
Does anybody remember that album?
Yes.
Yes? Do you see it too?
Yes.
It's giving me that kind of aesthetic, and I love that you created such a cool image, and it's like almost you're honing in your branding early on, and we love that, don't we? The video was very hands-on, I've heard, from the sets to the costumes and co-directing to yourself. What was important for you to be that involved in every part of the process?
I have a huge issue with delegation. This is mainly why I end up doing as much as I do, which this project has taught me to do more of. Because it's ended up allowing me to get done so much more than I could have even imagined. So I'm trying, even so I think this was a little bit too much. I think in the future I'd quite like to have more people involved who can also give their creative input to everything. Because you can't be an island, you have to have, what's the phrase? You have to have,
Many heads are better as one.
yeah,
I think
something like that. Something like that.
Creative minds. We like a team.
So yeah, in an ideal world, I would love to be able to do everything, just because I'm so passionate about everything. But yeah, no, I'm so thrilled that people around me are like, no, you need to like find other people who are better than you to work with, which is really cool.
So coming off of that, do you feel like being a DIY artist allows you to show a more honest, authentic version of yourself compared to the polished perfection we often see online? And it is very polished, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah, I kind of think it's each to their own. Like, if that's the vision that you want to get across, and that's what really speaks to your soul, is that polished look, then that's totally fair enough. I'm kind of not in a position to, like, heavily judge on that. But I do think we've got a value in my family that is just kind of like, you make do with what you have. And so it's really nice to be able to just, I don't know, utilise that and, like, have that as a core value for my audience and fans eventually along the line. That you can do it yourself. Like, you don't need to have crazy budgets or crazy connections. You just need a really solid group of friends and a really good vision and people who are on board.
Couldn't agree more. That's solid advice, actually. We're going to get a bit personal now. You've spoken about fear of rejection and failure coming to the surface through this project. What was making this video a way of confronting that?
Being so out of my depth. Like, every single process, I've never been involved in a music video like this. I was on set as a kid a little bit as an extra, which was really good fun, but you're kind of just running around and not really aware of much. But yeah, like, every single step of this really put me outside my comfort zone, and I was just terrified of people not enjoying it. And then the perfectionism just kind of like eats away. And I was like, hold on, like, this really doesn't have to be like that. Like, I can just pull myself out of this mentality of being stressed and anxious and just look at and to celebrate what it is that we are doing. So treating it as more that, like, this release is more of a celebration of art that we've created has made me feel a lot more positive and less fearful about rejection.
And also, it's all a learning process as well.
Exactly.
So, coming off that, what advice would you give to aspiring young artists trying to establish their style or brand and sound within the music industry?
Go to an absolute shit ton of gigs. Like, for real, go and listen to so much live music, because it gives you such a good idea of what you love and what you don't. And to also, like, really immerse yourself in art exhibitions and different, like, aesthetics of films or genres, and, like, I don't, just really be present in the moment and really enjoy your life, and the things that stand out to you, hold on to, and then expand on that and read about it. And then also, like talk to your friends about your ideas as well.
Yeah.
And there are so many people who are desperate to learn how to take photographs or how to video, and because of your art, you can give them an opportunity to do that. Make some cool friends, like, go to cool shit.
So you took a bit of time developing your universe before releasing this new chapter.
Yes.
What does a wonderful world of Molly Meaker look like from here, and where are you taking us next?
Well, isn't that a question? There's an EP on its way. We've got all the tracks finished, so we're just working on this world and seeing where it goes next. To be honest, I have no idea, and that's kind of the fun of it. Like, we've got the music down.
But that's exciting, though.
Yeah, it's so exciting. It's exhilarating.
Keeps you on your toes and exhilarated.
Yeah, I'm excited and terrified. But
that's a good, though. It's good to be a little bit terrified, because it shows you care.
Totally.
I have so many more questions, but I'd love to open it up to the audience now. So does anyone have any questions they'd like to ask Molly, if it's like music related or brand, or just developing sound and style, or just questions about music in general, or about the music video? The space is now yours.
Your influences.
My influences. For this section of music, it's very, very much so PJ Harvey. Like, I'm obsessed with PJ Harvey. I love her stuff. Also Jeff Buckley, the love of my life. Sorry, Raph. I love his like operatic voice and the songwriting and just how crunchy things are before it becomes like really beautiful.
The Ethel Cain album that you made me remix it for.
Yeah. When, so Is This It took about like, we started recording it 2 years ago, and I was at uni and like everything I was so distracted by everything. There were so many assignments that it took us ages to finish. And I remember I got back the first mix from Lou, and I was like, I hate my vocals. Like we need to re-record this.
Because that's just you getting in your head, though.
And then. No, they needed to be re-recorded. Trust me on this one, they were not good. Because we'd been in the studio for like 10 hours at that point, and it was the second song we were trying to record, because I was like, we can record 2 songs in 2 days, that's fine. It was not, and my voice was very tired. But anyway, Ethel Cain had released Perverse the night before, and I was like, oh my god, I was obsessed with this song Punish, and I was like, this is so cool, like I want an element of this like reverb, smoky vocals before it then becomes this like huge cathartic song. So yeah, thanks Lou. Very helpful.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
How did you get the living room to the forest?
Oh my god. No, it was like, how many of us? Was it like 15 of us?
Yeah, there was like
It was about 15 of us, and we had one person on each corner of the 2 panels, and we were literally just carried it. So the forest is about, what, like a 7-minute walk from my house? And so we had to like squeeze it through the door.
longer.
Okay, with the set pieces, it was like a 25-minute walk. We have loads of photos that we're going to be posting on my socials across the next couple of weeks. And loads of really cool behind-the-scenes content of how we got it there.
Amazing.
It was no small feat, and it was in the middle of February when it had just been raining and everything was so muddy.
As well.
Yeah, and so poor Cecily, like literally, this picture of her with mud up to here. She'd just been soaked through.
Can we just give a little clap for Cecily?
It was a mission, but it looked great.
It was amazing. I'm actually so impressed with it, because it's like showing, like you can sort of get an idea of your thought process.
Mm-hmm.
You must have been so elated after it was done, right? Because you said it took you 2 years.
Yeah.
How did you feel? How did you celebrate? I want to know that.
This
This
is the celebration.
And how did you feel after? Like, what was that feeling? Were you like, on to the next one, or were you just like chuffed?
I'm going on holiday for 2 weeks. So,
Yeah, where are you going?
South Africa.
Oh, nice.
It's very exciting.
Well, I think that's all it now, isn't it?
That's fantastic.
Well, thanks for-
Molly.
Thank you so much to Aisha for the Q&A tonight. It's been amazing. Thanks for having me. And thank you to Azzy the Rabbit as well. Who, I might just say, has come all the way from France for this. So, some round of applause for London. She's a French laugh.